Bare root season. Okay, so here we are in dormancy. This is an end of December. We're right in between Christmas and New Year's. So when things are dormant in nature, of course, that's when all the leaves fall off the trees and nothing is actually actively growing. But there's still a lot of life in the roots, okay? And so the time of year between the fall when the leaves fall off the trees and in the spring when the sap starts flowing again and the blossoms start coming out, trees and shrubs and certain perennial plants, they go completely dormant, which means they can be dug up very easily and transferred and moved around. So nurseries figured this out, and what they call bare root season is the time of year that you can buy trees, shrubs, and fruiting perennials of all different kinds. You can buy them cheaper than you can buy them any other time of the year. When they're dormant, they don't need a lot of care. Basically, bare root stock, as we would call the material that's sold during bare root season, it's basically sticks. It sticks with roots. Okay, so they don't have to take care of it. They just stick it in a pile of sawdust and keep the roots from drying out, of course, but nothing's growing, so you don't really have to take care of it. Now, each stick that you plant when you buy it for bare root, it's going to cost like 3 times as much in the springtime, because that nursery's going to have to put that stick in a pot. They're going to have to put soil in there. Now they're going to have to pay somebody to water it and take care of it and try to sell it for a lot more money in the springtime when everybody thinks, oh, it's spring, let's plant. Well, no, it's December, let's plant. See, now is the time to get it. Now is the time. Bare root season is the time to look into that. So I want to encourage all experienced gardeners to, if you're ever thinking about planting trees, now is the time to look into that. Even ornamental trees, but especially fruit trees, all the cherries, apples, peaches, pears, all of those kinds of trees can come in dwarf rootstock, which means that you can grow smaller trees in a backyard scale. Okay. But I want to also really encourage gardeners who are beginners, brand new gardeners, who don't really know what they're doing at all. I want to say you should go out and buy some bare root strawberries. You can buy a bundle of strawberry plants, get like 25 plants, very cheaply, under $10 probably. And you can plant those out in containers or in garden soil that you prepare. I'm going to talk a lot more about taking care of bare root stock in the garden club. But I want to have everybody be able to eat strawberries in June, especially brand new gardeners, because it's a transformative experience to eat fresh strawberries that you've grown yourself. It's just remarkable, and it's not something that is hard to do at all. It's a very easy win for brand new gardeners, and I want to encourage gardeners to grow all kinds of things, but I want them to have a lot of success at first. I want to make sure that they're going to grow things that they're going to really get satisfaction from growing, and there's nothing like bare root strawberries for that. So the thing about bare root stock, I want to say, is it's mostly perennials. It's big stuff, okay? It's trees and shrubs, and we're talking about blueberries. Blueberries is a big old perennial bush. You're going to have it grow there for 10, 15 years at least, okay? So a lot of bare root stock only really gets considered by people who own their own property, okay? People who are renters and people who are moving around, the container gardeners, you guys don't think about bare root stock that much because it's all big stuff. It's permanent. When I was a renter raising my kids, we'd move every 2 or 3 years or something. I never planted perennials. I never planted trees. I'd always plant raspberries though, because I could dig up those raspberries when I had to move. They were not part of that category, okay? So for people who are a little more mobile and who need to be able to take their garden resources with them maybe, I want to say raspberries and strawberries are the best things, because you can have abundant fruits out of containers even, or in your a little rental backyard, and you can take those things with you and always have them. It's not like a fruit tree that you're going to have to leave behind. Now roses, absolutely buy roses bare root. Okay, roses are super expensive if they have to pot them up and take care of them the rest of the year. Yeah. So by all means, always try to buy. If you're going to buy roses and you want to have a rose garden, um, bare rootstock is definitely the way to go. Now, I would only encourage people to buy roses with a lot of planning. Really think it out. Really have your ground ready. Have places figured out for the roses, because roses are really, they're kind of temperamental. They're not the easiest things to grow, even from bare root. They need really well-drained soil. So in my mind, you need to have a little bit more of a preparation going into getting roses, okay? Roses, when they break dormancy, they're very fragile. Those little buds coming off of roses are easily bumped and broken, and that can be your prime branch, and you just bumped it. So the trick with roses, bare root roses, is to get them in the ground soon. You want them in the ground before they break dormancy, because that's when the tender little buds are most vulnerable from getting knocked off, moving it around. Most all the other bare root stock that I can think of, it's pretty tough. You can buy it from the nursery. It comes out of wet sawdust, and you can take it home and just put it in a bucket of sawdust for a while. You can buy yourself some time, a couple of weeks maybe, if you don't have ground ready. If you haven't dug the hole for the cherry tree, if you haven't dug out this bed that you were to put the raspberries against the fence or whatever, you have a little bit of time. If you buy most bare root stock, it's called healing it in. You just heal it in. And you just either cut a wedge with your shovel and stick it in the ground and cover it up, or put it in a bag with some wet sawdust. Basically, you just want to keep the roots from drying out before you can find the good place to plant it. You have a lot of wiggle room, a couple of weeks, say, with most bare root stock, like especially if you order trees or something online. I mean, if you're going to buy your bare root stock online from a nursery, they'll ship it to you, and you need to get it out of the box and heal it in right away somehow, sawdust or however you figured out to do it. But roses, you got to have your ground ready. Roses are tricky. Get as ready as you can for the roses.